very ground we are standing on is shifting. Civilization hangs in the balance.
The 1917 Battle of Passchendaele, also known as the Third Battle of Ypres, or simply Third Ypres, was one of the major battles of World War I. Hi, I'm Erin from WatchMojo.com, and today we're sitting down with Caroline Dhavernas of Passchendaele. Can you tell us about this movie and the character that you play in Passchendaele?
I play a nurse named Sarah. We first meet her in the shell shock ward in Calgary because this movie takes place at first in Calgary, and then we follow the characters across the ocean in Belgium. She meets Paul's character, Dunn, who's in the shell shock ward, and he can't go back to war because he's been wounded, and that is where they fall for each other.
Maybe I could accompany you to a dance.
I don't dance with soldiers.
I could lose the uniform.
I don't dance with naked soldiers.
How do you prepare for a role like this?
I don't always have a certain way of working, but in this case, Paul gave me 2 books to read just to give me a bit of an idea of what the nurses had to do, where they came from, what their everyday life was, and mostly it was, fixing these soldiers and mending the wounds and everything, but it was also the human touch and the hope that they gave these men,
A soldier in the modern battlefield is beset with many challenges.
So no actual hospital research or...
They had a nurse come over and teach me how to shoot myself, which was kind of...
What do you mean?
She's morphine, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Don't die.
How did you get your start in acting?
I started a very long time ago. I was 8 years old.
8?
30, so it's been 22 years, which makes me sound like I'm 80. Yeah, my parents are actors, so that's how I got into it very early. But it's always been a challenge every time, and I love it more and more, so it never became redundant. And even more so when I moved to New York, because I decided to make it fun and mix things up a little bit.
What is the difference between, in your opinion, the Canadian industry, French industry versus the States, since you're living it all?
Budget is always a big difference, of course. In both Canada and Quebec, we tend to do a lot with the little money that we have. But once you're on set, to me, it's always similar.
Thank you very much for speaking with us. It was a pleasure to meet you.
You too.